Hello and welcome to yet another noobreview.com quick look. This time we're looking at quite a specific part of a game actually. We usually look at whole games. We're looking at the Mechromancer DLC for Borderlands 2, which was recently released. Now, Adam, you've picked this DLC up yourself, haven't you?
Yes, I have, and it's quite good, really. I mean, are you interested? You get a brand new class and lots of new colours, apparently, according to this.
Yeah, as well, the viewers can actually see that now as we kind of flick through the different costumes you can get. Yeah, it's an entirely new character, isn't it, for Borderlands 2?
Yes.
So new set of skill trees and everything.
A robotic arm and everything. And lots of interesting skills as well. I mean, it's a lot different to everything that we've seen before in the Borderlands universe. For the starters, you get a robot sidekick, which is arguably much more useful than the turrets. And he has a lot of interesting abilities. For starters, like he starts off just doing melee damage, and he floats around the arena, and he can get to places that you can't normally get to. And he's also a really good distraction for enemies as well, because you'll spawn him as and when, and they'll all just run off and try and shoot him instead. And all you've got to do is sort of stay behind a box with a sniper rifle and pick them off from the distance.
Like, some would say a coward, really.
Yeah, I suppose. It's a really good class if you're a coward. But here's some excellent gameplay with lots of Mechromancers.
There's the robot we've just been talking about, actually.
In action.
Yeah. And as you can see, the enemies flock towards him. So, like you were saying, he's really useful. I say he could probably be a she, who knows. The robot is a really useful addition to the battlefield because it's a distraction. The enemies flock towards it, and as you progress, you can power the robot up so it deals loads of damage. But even in the meantime, the enemies are kind of their attention is turned elsewhere, so you can kind of shoot them in the back. Rather than taking loads of damage, which you'd normally do.
And one of the great things about it as well, which if you do like to play by yourself, which in this game I can't imagine a lot of people do, but if you're antisocial and you want to play the single player campaign through by yourself,
you got no friends,
then that robot is a really great addition to your team because it basically doubles your party.
Does it talk?
Well, yeah, where you get an extra person, but also they're incredibly devastating, as we've just seen. Like in a group, if we've all got a robot, it's like having 4 people all spawned at once.
So, aside from the robot, why should people pick up the Mechromancer DLC? Why would you want to play as the Mechromancer instead of the Gunzerker or the Assassin? Why would you pick a Mechromancer?
Well, for starters, it's much cooler, and that's about the gist, really.
Great,
she's got a robotic arm.
Brilliant.
Obviously, the main skill that she has is that she specialises in electrocute damage and burn damage, and generally just elemental damage. So,
right, okay.
If you really love using the Maliwan weapons, for example, or you just like seeing people set on fire or melted to death by acid.
So she's kind of like the Siren class, but with a bit more focus on gunplay rather than special abilities.
You could say that, yeah. But also she has some abilities, like for example, once you level up, you can get an ability where every time you reload, your body will release an electrical blast, so that anyone around you just starts getting electrocuted.
Oh, lovely!
So every time you reload, which is brilliant. And then you can also increase the effectiveness of not only like elemental weapons, but any weapon you might happen to be using. You could just increase the chances that it'll cause burn damage or something as well. And you can also you can apply weapon damage to your robot by just once you can get a skill where you shoot your robot with a flame weapon, and the robot will do flame damage as well as melee damage. But the robot by default also deals electrical damage, so you can be electrocute people, burning them, and even melting their skin at the same time with acid. Which, if you like that kind of thing, then you probably should pick it up. But apart from that, it just adds a lot of new. I mean, it's a really good excuse to replay through a great game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm finding the game quite long, but the game's so good that I'm really tempted once I'm finished to go back and play through as a different class of character, because it is genuinely that good. It's good enough to want to warrant quite a few playthroughs actually, not just the one. And I guess it beckons the way for more character classes. I would imagine this is kind of the tip of the iceberg. We're probably going to get some more.
Well, yeah, they've always promised a lot of DLC. And, I mean, even if we do only get the Mechromancer, that's brilliant. But it's just they've sort of showed us that it's not just going to be 4 characters anymore. It could be, who knows how many it could be. I don't know what they've got planned. Hopefully loads.
I'd like to see some more classes. I mean, the idea of the robots, that's a really good addition. But there's other cool ideas they could possibly implement. I'm not going to name them now because I'd want money for them. But I don't want to be giving any of my ideas away. But yeah, it's just another cool addition, isn't it? I mean, it can get a bit tiring just shooting enemies. So being able to summon a big robot or something is kind of cool, I guess. Not sure how much it is, but I'd imagine it's included in the season pass thing.
And or the Premier Club, or one of them clubs that you have to sort of give money to. But yeah, it's brilliant. I'd recommend anyone who's got the game, you can afford it, pick it up, because why not? And you get a robot, for God's sake. You get electrocute people, and he's got claws like Wolverine.
And everyone knows that games are better with robots in them. So don't be like that though. Don't die, because that'll be rubbish.
Thank you for playing. Presented by
Noob Review.